Welcome, everyone. Stop before you scroll. Before you switch to another video, let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if the biggest problem in your life is not your situation, not your money, not your background, but your own mind? What if the voice inside your head has been quietly sabotaging you for years? Not loudly, not dramatically, but silently. Every time you wanted to try, it whispered, "You're not ready." Every time you wanted to speak, it said, "What if you embarrass yourself?" Every time you wanted to grow, it reminded you of your past failures. And slowly, you believed it. Most people are not defeated by life. They are defeated by their internal dialogue. They lose in their imagination before reality even begins. And today, on English Rise, we are not just improving English. We are upgrading the operating system of your mind. Because once you control your mind, you control your direction. And once you control your direction, you control your destiny. Listen carefully, because this might be the most important conversation you ever have with yourself. Your life today is not random. It is patterned, and patterns begin with thoughts. Everything begins with something small and a single thought. I'm not good enough. This is too hard. People like me don't succeed. You think it's just a sentence, but it's not. It's a seed. Thought becomes decision. Decision becomes action. Action becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Identity becomes destiny. This is not motivation. This is psychology. Most people try to change their results without changing their thinking. That never works. Imagine planting negative seeds every day and expecting a positive garden. Impossible. Your mind is a filter. If you believe you are weak, you will notice proof of weakness everywhere. If you believe you're capable, you will notice opportunities everywhere. Same world, different filter. Change the filter, change the experience. And here is something powerful. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. The moment you say, "That is just a thought, not a fact," you take back control. That is where mental power begins. Let's talk about mental defeat, because this is where most people lose. Not in reality, but in imagination. Before someone speaks English, their mind says, "What if I make a mistake? What if they laugh? What if I sound stupid?" Before someone starts a business, it says, "What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if people judge me?" Nothing has happened yet, but the body reacts. The heart beats faster. Confidence drops. Energy disappears. This is imagination controlling physiology. The brain is trying to protect you, but sometimes protection becomes a limitation. The truth is, the mind repeats what it is trained to repeat. If you constantly feed it fear, it produces doubt. If you constantly feed it growth, it produces courage. Your environment matters. The content you watch matters. The people you listen to matter. Every input becomes mental programming. And over time, that programming becomes your personality. So ask yourself, are you training your mind to expand, or are you training it to shrink? Another powerful truth is this: progress begins with awareness. The moment you catch a negative thought and pause, you interrupt an old pattern. That small pause is powerful. In that space, you can choose a different response. Instead of saying, "I can't," you say, "I'm learning." Instead of saying, "I always fail," you say, "I am improving." These small language shifts may look simple, but they slowly rebuild your identity from the inside out. There are always two voices inside you. One says, grow, try, risk, improve. The other says, stay safe, don't move, avoid pain. Most people listen to the safe voice because it feels comfortable. But comfort is expensive. It costs growth. It costs potential. It costs the life you could have lived. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is built. Every time you act despite fear, you win a small battle. And small mental victories create powerful identities. Let me leave you with this. Your mind is not your enemy. It is your most powerful tool. But an untrained mind becomes a prison. A trained mind becomes a weapon. You don't need a new life. You need a new level of thinking. Right now, you have a choice. Let old programming control you, or consciously rewrite it. Train your thoughts. Guard your focus. Control your reactions. Upgrade your beliefs. Choose discomfort. Kill excuses. Strengthen your identity. Because before you win in the world, you must win in your mind. And here on English Rise, we don't just learn English, we rise mentally, we rise emotionally, we rise powerfully. And once your mind rises, your life follows.